Hi, good morning. This is Andrew Lowsutea present. Thank you very much for joining me again for a very important webinar today. We're going to talk about blood pressure. Wow, why blood pressure is so important? I can tell you why. Because actually we have clients who using Lowsutea, and some of them just elderly person, and they somehow, as you know, when you get diabetic, you tend to block up all your memory, you don't remember. And I have a client that actually forgot, basically 10 days, forgot her blood pressure medication. And you know what? Then she got a stroke. And that's really, her blood pressure went up to like 250, 300 range. And at the end of the day, her just have a stroke with a CVA, and it become tremendously amount of pressure to her family, because now she'll be totally immobilized and need someone taking care. So really, at the end of the day, I want to make sure you gotta understand blood pressure is so important. On top of that, it affected tremendously with your kidney, and why that's the case, I will share with you later. And why diabetic is so important, have to understand, this issue of blood pressure and how that be connected to say, hey, if I'm a diabetic, do I really need to watch? You absolutely have to watch, because lots of the people, if they're diabetic, most likely the high blood pressure goes up. On top of that, the kidney will be affected. So today's knowledge will help you to better understand all these things, mechanisms add together, so you understand why we have to do that. So we'll start our webinar now. And thank you very much for joining me for this important event, because if you understand blood pressure, a lot of the issue that, like my client, could be potentially prevented. And I think that's what I was trying to address to many of our clients here. So how do you maintain kidney health and the link between blood pressure and the kidney? And that is something that a lot of people might not understand, but I think it's important. You got to continue, understand this, or at least watch this, so this is something that you can help yourself to prevent, any serious sickness because of blood pressure not well controlled. Plus, it damages your kidney. Now, when you damage the kidney, it can be serious, because you end up, which actually will need to dialyze. A lot of the people have to go in Hong Kong. Sometimes they have to go to hospital. In the United States, many of them, go to a dialysis center and 3 times a week. Wow, they're absolutely inconvenient. Plus, you have tremendous of all kind of health issue. You have vestibular issue. You have all kind of issues. So you don't want to get into that stage. Kidney dialysis is not something you want to be in there. So, but you can all prevent this by just maintain better blood pressure, maintain better control of your diabetes. You can be that healthy, and you will not get into the kidney issues. So today we'll give you that understanding today. Okay, so today the agenda will talk about, wow, how does this kidney really relate to you, and why it's so important you can get your kidney health, and understand what is the blood pressure, how to connect blood pressure and the kidney function. And if you have kidney disease, what is the sign and symptom will come along, and what is preventive measure that you can use, and how Lowsutea can help you. And so net result today, you have a real good understand blood pressure. I think we have talked about this before, but this is something that we can dive into deeper to have you better understanding. I think this is a very beneficial webinar for you to have this understanding. Now, as you know, I saw many names in here which I'm not familiar. People from Hawaii, people from United States, Canada, all over the place, and Southeast Asia. So I thought it would be good to everybody catch up at the same speed. So I need to talk to you the 4 stages of diabetes. Now, everybody go through that, okay? The first stage is the LDL cholesterol goes up, and then it damages the B cell coming from the pancreas, which takes sugar to the cells. When B cell doesn't work, more and more sugar is maintained in the bloodstream. So the cholesterol and the blood sugar mix together, the blood becomes very thick, and that's your problem come. You know what? Once it come here, you become forming plaques all over the body, your lung, your heart, your brain, kidney, everything. Okay, so this is the worst thing of diabetes because it plugs up everything. Years to plug away, that's all accomplished coming in 10 years. And wow, that's, you don't want to be there. So your blood pressure goes up. So majority of diabetic patients will have increased blood pressure. That's why they have blood pressure pills. And then if you don't do anything, you don't feel anything, you know what? Most likely in about a couple of years, you will become a pre-diabetic. A pre-diabetic, every doctor measure the same thing. How do you determine you're pre-diabetic? They measure your hemoglobin, which is, HB hemoglobin, and it's called HbA1c. A1c is the hemoglobin amount of percentage sugar attached to this hemoglobin. If you have 5.7% and lower, you're a normal person. If you're 5.7 to 6.4, you are pre-diabetic. Unfortunately, pre-diabetic, you have no medication because you don't any feel. The doctor will say, hey, you're not pre-diabetic. You got to take care of you to get less sweet. You have to change your lifestyle. But unfortunately, because people don't know that, so they don't understand what to do. But the one thing can help you, Lowsutea. Lowsutea will help you actually maintain better blood sugar level, continue to maintain your sugar, the A1C down, from 6% below, so you do not transfer yourself to diabetic. If you're over 6.4, you are become a diabetic. And once you become a diabetic, you know what? Sorry, you cannot go back. And that's what one thing about, Lowsutea really can help. Now, even though you are in A1C as high as 10, Lowsutea can still bring you back down to 6.4 and below. Many of my clients now is really drinking Lowsutea and brought down to 6.4, and some of them are 6, 5.8, whatever. However, clinically, you are improved, but your definition as a diabetic was always there. So basically, that's the choice that you want to do is you don't want to get yourself to be determine yourself. It's called diabetic in 2 to 3 years after you become a pre-diabetic. Now, why Lowsutea will help? Now, Lowsutea is very unique. There are guava leaves inside. It delay your absorption of the sugar entering the gut vessel. And then the bitter melon, the second item, which help you to increase the insulin sensitivity and take the sugar back to the cells, and also excess sugar, cholesterol, and salt will dump out through your urine. And when salt dump out urine, your blood pressure comes down. That's why Lowsutea can actually lower blood pressure and also detox. So your 3 high will go down and you will be much healthier. Now, if you really can control your 3 high, in other words, you will be blood sugar lower than 5.7 or at least 5.7 to 6, you'll be always in good health in that sense because you might not get into your diabetic complication. Your bad cholesterol is also controlled so you don't damage your heart, and then your blood pressure control. So your 3 high, if you control, your chances to get all these problems will be at least lower your tremendous amount of risk. You will be very healthy. Now, with that, we don't just ask you to do drink Lowsutea. We give you a whole program whereby you have, I think, 310 lecture or webinar can teach you how to do dieting with low carb, low fat diet, teach you how to do exercise, 10,000 steps a day. You have weight control, get your BMI from 30 to 23. Well, every week, one doctor webinar, which continue to build. And we have over 310 already. So you have a lot of webinar you can able to listen. And this is all free for you to use. So you can better understand the diabetic problem, pre-diabetic problem, the 3 high problem, lower that 3 high to get yourself healthy. And all the related health issue can get you. So that way you have a better understanding that you can able to say, wow, that's true. If that's the case, I really need to understand and work with it so I don't get sick and get really in serious sickness to spend a lot of money. Like my friend who is so sad, got a stroke and now is totally need to lie in a bed and cannot walk, need a feet, and wow, man, a tremendous cost and health, and also quality health is just not there anymore. So we really want to use Lowsutea, bring down, if you're even a diabetic, with A1C drop down to 5.7. And that is always our goal. That's why listen to our webinar will help you to get you know how to prevent all the issue of a high blood pressure, diabetic, high blood sugar, and also better understand how to lower your cholesterol. Now, so really at the end of the day, you got to understand why kidney health is so important. Now, kidney is an important organ, really, because it filters all the blood, getting all the waste out of your body and dumped it onto the urine, and then also recirculate your blood through, filtered blood already. And basically your body have better clean blood, to circulate around. And that's the basic function of the kidney. Now, if you also another thing, the kidney, what it does is also balance the fluid, the body fluid, because they always maintain your body fluid by adjusting the volume urine production. Like, for example, if you are really dehydrated, you know what? They will keep your body fluid so you don't void that much, right? And if you are over drinking a lot of water, I'm very hydrated, then you go urinate it, and basically you'll get rid of your water, so your blood pressure will continue to come down. Now, if your body, actually your heart, for example, start getting lots of stress and you can't really handle, so the kidney will get rid of fluid. If you can't do it, then doctor will give you some medication, get rid of more fluid so it doesn't, over task your heart. So these kidney really help you not only just get rid of poison stuff from your body, but also maintain your body fluid balance. So kidney is a very important organ. Don't screw around with it. Don't get your diabetic, damage your kidney so it won't work. Don't do that. You gotta basically maintain good health of kidney so you can continue to do its work and will have better for your health. Now, kidney actually is also a very important organ that regulates your blood pressure, because the kidney, besides control the amount of volume of blood to basically go through filtration, but there's also certain hormone enzyme is called renin, which help to manage your blood pressure. Now, that's why a lot of people said, hey, I cannot just damage my kidney, because if you damage your kidney, you don't have renin, so enzyme renin, so you can't really control blood pressure, and that will be bad for you, right? And on top of that, it also produce vitamin D, red blood cells, hormones. So these are the body, items that really need to have in the body, so you can basically continue to give you better bone, healthier bone, and control your red blood cell production. So kidney is a very important organ, besides control blood pressure, but also give you, the red blood cell production, and also different hormone, and also the enzyme renin can able to help you to control your blood pressure. So these are important products from the kidney besides the filtration, okay? So important that you have to continue maintain healthy so the kidney continue to function. So let's talk about blood pressure now. As you know, people say, wow, what is so important? Blood pressure. Now, blood pressure is really important, because your blood pressure also maintained by how much the blood, the cardiovascular system pumped out, and your blood pressure goes up like this, and this pressure up here, when the blood goes through here and expanded, that's the systolic pressure. In other words, the pressure that passed through and then will come back down, and then it's called diastolic pressure. So basically, it really also how much your heart will work, in a sense, to get the pressure up and coming down. So you got to control this. This also has to come with your overall health, how your heart working. Is all in a nutshell. Blood pressure is really a very good indicator. With all the arterial issues that in your body, are you really pumping right amount of blood to each of the organ? So really important, you have to maintain good blood pressure, but not too high blood pressure or too low blood pressure. So this is a very important aspect of blood pressure. So we will talk a little bit more about what does it mean, this blood pressure, the high and low blood pressure, called systolic and diastolic, okay? So the blood pressure, normally you should have at least less than 120 of the systolic pressure. Systolic pressure is the blood passing through, coming up here with the blood pump, so you fill it up, and this is systolic blood pressure. As that should be at least less than 120, not over 130, but less than 120. And you have a diastolic, which is the pressure, is the lower number when the blood vessel maintain continuously what is this pressure in the blood vessels. Now, important, that is actually should be less than 80. So there are two item number you can always remember. The big blood pressure pumped by the heart, boom, and then increase, and then this should be 120, and then when you relax, and the remaining blood vessels pressure is 80, should be less than 80, you have 75, that is good. These are good normal blood pressure. Now, however, when you start elevated, meaning that now you have, blood pressure is increased due to many times because of your plaques or your hardening of the vessels, the blood vessels. And when you're hardening, the vessel no longer able to expand as much anymore, the pressure start going up. So you have 120 over 129, anything is start elevating, is getting to move up. And your lower blood pressure, which is diastolic pressure, residual pressure in the vessels, are more than 80 now. It's 85, 86, 89. So now you know the blood pressure are going up, but not their really issue yet. The higher blood pressure is when you say, okay, my stage one is if I have blood pressure always over 130, over 139. In other words, this blood pressure coming up here is 130 to over 39. Now you have a stage one hypertension, meaning a high blood pressure of stage one. Well, this is still not as bad, but you need to start looking at it because the doctor will probably give you start getting medication. Your diastolic blood pressure will be between 80 and 89. So doctor will start looking at, hey, your blood pressure is getting up. So we might give you some medication to help you lower your blood pressure because your blood pressure should be always 120 over 80 and not in sense 139 over 89. Okay, so this is an issue. Now, if you have stage 2 hypertension, is you are higher than 140 now. When the blood coming through it, boom, coming up. Now, this blood pressure is 140 now. And then your residual blood pressure is 90 or higher, maybe 93, 94, 95. That's mean your body continuously, even your heart doesn't pump blood, the pressure is still at 90, meaning the residual pressure on your blood vessel is 90. Now that is really can be potentially danger. You know why? Because when that happens, meaning that you have your blood pressure, vessel may be hardened, is not flexible anymore, and also you might have micro vessel can potentially at a risk to suddenly have a small stroke. Okay. So when you have stage 2, you gotta usually already have medication to definitely lower the blood pressure down to 120 over 80. That will be your major target here, right? Now, worse yet, if you are hypertension crisis, meaning that your blood pressure over 180, the upper pressure, boom, 180 here, and the lower diastolic pressure, which is a lower number, is now 120. In other words, your body entire vessels is continue at 120. Now, this is very dangerous because if you are elderly, you can continue have this for a long period of time. You definitely have stroke, or you might have a high risk of stroke, not definitely, but you are high risk of getting stroke or other cardiovascular issue. You need to talk to doctor immediately or bring the patient to hospital to lower this blood pressure to 120 over 80. You need medication in here. So in these two items here, the stage 2 and stage 3, you got to get to the doctor to get you medication to lower the blood pressure. into lower to 120 or 80, because you have to bring them back now, because then if not, your risk will be high. My client, which is the one that got stroke, her blood pressure is like 250, and the diastolic is about 120, 130, and it's continued. Then the stroke came. Okay, so, and she forgot to have her her blood pressure medication, and so that's what happened. You need medication. So now we'll talk quite a bit of blood pressure. So how does it connect your blood pressure to kidney? What is the relationship? Now, that is important to understand. You know why? Because first of all, when you are high blood pressure, in other words, your blood pressure now is over 130, 140 in the systolic blood pressure, the diastolic over 90 and above. Now, this, if you continue to do that, eventually you will end up what they call a chronic kidney disease, because it damaged your kidney, and then your kidney will, all the tubulars, all the tube inside the kidney start damaging. So no longer function to filter your waste. So your kidney in long term, like in 1-2 days, it will not damage your kidney, but you continuously, it will damage your kidney. So if you 1 or 2 days, high blood pressure, you will just have crisis and you have to bring it down. But the kidney might not be damaged, but you have continuously like months and months high blood pressure, then your kidney will start damage. Now, when you really have CKD, which is the chronic kidney disease, usually your blood pressure is really not well controlled, meaning you're always going to 140, 160, diastolic is 80, 90 and 100 in that range. And your kidney disease will get higher and higher. The worst thing is also affect your heart, because when you have high blood pressure, you will always make the heart pump really hard. And also your risk of all the other stuff will come in, like, for example, eventually CVA or stroke. So that is really the issue. Plus, when you have high blood pressure, it also damages the vessel. Potentially, all the vessels supposed to go to your brain, all the places. And basically, it might rupture, or you go to the kidney, it damages all the tubulars, a small vessel, there are thousands of tubulars. You are now damaging those, and they won't filter waste for you anymore. So then your blood pressure will continue to go up, and then your kidney will not able to regulate it anymore. So the kidney will be compromised and struggle to filter your blood poison and waste. So all that issue will come along. So really, you got to keep getting your blood pressure back to 120 over 80. So you can able to get better kidney function, less risk of heart disease, heart attack, and kidney disease. And that is the key. So you don't want to have a chronic kidney disease because of high blood pressure. Definitely you want to do that. Now, next question to ask, well, what is the cause? Why I have an end up like that? Now, there's several things. One is possible age. Because when you get older, unfortunately, when you get older, your vessel become less flexible. You get hardened, especially if you're diabetic. Your vessel, it is going to be hardened. When you harden, your blood pressure, what? Goes up. Okay? So age can be an issue. That's the reason why it's so important. Continue to maintain your good blood pressure. A lot of people actually at age 40, already blood pressure is high because due to stress of work, dieting, whatever. So those are the things that you need to start working with your doctor to lower your blood pressure by either by medication, exercise, weight control, food, diet, all that stuff, low salt diet, those are the kind of things. You got to really start working, because you don't start working, that may be a real issue down the road that your blood pressure cannot control and continue to be high. Wow, it damages your heart, damages your kidney. That's not good, right? Next thing is genetic. Now, a lot of people don't realize high blood pressure can run by in the family. And someone may be really like my mom, okay? She is very thin, good weight. BMI is under 22. And you know what? She had hypertension, but because of family hypertension. So I have to watch. And I do have hypertension because of part of the genetic. But with dieting, control, lifestyle, do physical exercise, I very much, and I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke. So net result, you know what? I was able to get my blood pressure back down to about 120, 125, but my systolic will be lower than, diastolic will be lower than 70 or, between 70 and 80, around that range. So it's good, right? So that's the kind of things that you got to do. Now, lifestyle is so important because you got to have good dieting. If not, you have poor dieting. You don't exercise, stay in easy chair, just keep watching TV. Then it's not going to help you. And you smoke, you drink, all that will increase what? Blood pressure. This is not good for you. So that's why your lifestyle factor can be affect your blood pressure. Now, also a lot of people don't realize if you're diabetic, you have high chances to get high blood pressure because remember, earlier with discussion, LDL cholesterol goes up and blood sugar mixed together. Your vessels will be full of plaques everywhere. It become your heart, your kidney, and it plugs it for many, many years to come, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your blood pressure will continue goes up, and it will be. If you don't treat it with medication, it will just continue goes up until the way that it went. Like my friend, it just popped to CVA, okay, with the cardiovascular cerebral accident, meaning a stroke. Okay, you don't want to do that. On top of that, people don't realize if you are, for example, sleep apnea, there's another one where your tongue kind of press your throat, so you can breathe. So you can also no oxygen and become pretty soon your blood pressure goes up and it blocks you can create a CVA for yourself. Now, certain kidney disease because your diabetic damage your kidney, so don't filter anymore. Damage all your hormone and also creatinine, renin, enzyme, whereby it's supposed to regulate your blood sugar. It can't do that anymore. So blood pressure will goes up. So all that will increase your heart disease, kidney disease, everything, all the disorder. You don't want to be in that boat also. Now, certain medication can be also affect your blood pressure. So really, for example, oral contraceptive, over-the-counter decongestants can potentially raise your blood pressure. So you really need to look at that. Is that I taking like if I cold, I buy decongestion, make sure ask the pharmacist, will that affect my blood pressure? So really, high cost of blood pressure really not only by your age, genetic, but also your lifestyle factors, your chronic condition, all that will affect your blood pressure. Now, what is a symptom though? If you have high kidney disease or symptom that will have problem with my kidney, okay? Now, one, if you are really having a kidney problem, what more commonly is you have nausea, you have vomiting, you feel weak, you feel tired, you cannot sleep, you lost appetite. One of the very, very early signs, always have high blood pressure, your muscle cramp, your leg will start swelling up. And really ankle, you will see the ankle start swelling up. You press it down, it just stay there. So those you are really potential kidney problem. And on top of that, you also go to frequent urination, meaning that you want to go to a restroom. It does somehow cannot empty all my urine, so to speak. So every hour you like to go restroom. And on top of that, you're not as alert anymore. And sometimes some people have severe problem with chest pain and shortness of breath. Those are more serious kidney disease. If you have all these, welcome to take a picture of this, but you will basically need to start taking this seriously and get to see a doctor to really identify why is a problem kidney disease going to come by. Now, how do you solve this problem? In a sense that blood pressure through the lifestyle change, as I mentioned, is so important, really control your chronic kidney disease. You don't want to, because your common lifestyle will basically make the kidney even worse. So you don't want to develop a chronic kidney disease. So several things you really can do can enhance that, so you can able to prevent your chronic kidney disease. One, you have to eat healthy, meaning that you have to adopt a diet which is low salt diet, not like I think a lot of people tend to, before they even eat, they just put salt, a lot of salt. So with the salt, you know what? If the salt in the body, you basically just retain all the water. So retain the water, what? The blood pressure goes up and it damages the kidney. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So cut down the salt. You want the salt, you want to get the water get out. That's why you don't want the salt to basically continue to retain your fluid. So your heart need to pump more. Your blood pressure goes up, it damages your kidney, all that is no good. So cut down salt. Now, Lowsutea is real good because it dump out your salt. It dump out your salt through urine. So net result, when it dump out salt urine, you know what? Your blood pressure should come down. And plus, you need to actually eat a lot of fruit, vegetable, whole grain, lean protein. Like, for example, you got to have, instead of eating a big red steak, you eat fish, salmon. All these things will help you to lower your blood pressure. Now, you have to maintain a good healthy weight. Now, weight is so important. As I mentioned, if you minus 10% of your body weight, you actually lower your A1C at one point. If your A1C is like 8, you go down to 7, okay? Now, also, if you're overweight, you actually also contribute your high blood pressure, because with the weight, you tend to have more and more, your heart will pump more because you're overweight, right? So the pressure will go up. So losing your weight can actually will help you lower your blood pressure. So weight is very important. But also with lower your weight, not only blood pressure, you lower your A1C, improve your joint, less joint pain, less potential, all kind of problem that you due to overweight, okay? So maintain overweight is very important. Now, you have to also exercise. Physical exercise is so important to actually getting your blood pressure lower. What do you mean exercise? Oh, well, you can walk, just brisk walking. Go to a shopping mall every night, walk with your wife, walk with your friend. That's okay. That will lower blood pressure, improve your overall health. Remember, when you walk, if you do 10,000 miles, it will also lower your blood sugar and also improve your blood pressure. So why not? On top of that, you feel more relaxing. It all feels really good. On top of that, you can also enjoy the scenery of the shopping. And just the whole thing will help you feel better. If you don't have to go shopping mall, no problem. Walk around the neighborhood. Say hi to your neighbor while you're walking. That is all good stuff, okay? Now, you have to really think about this. You got to limit not to drink that much, because drink increase your blood pressure. So you say, I have to drink something, fine. Drink 1 glass of wine will be all right, but not to drink a lot of big alcohol, whiskey, and all that. All those will increase your blood pressure, because all the drink will just bring you. I think many of you drink, you'll feel boom, boom, boom. All that heart will pump harder, blood pressure goes up. You don't want to do that. Now, also, you have to manage the stress. Stress also increases your blood pressure. Remember, you got excited, your face become red, and then basically you just say, oh, man, your face all red. It will measure your blood pressure goes up maybe 10 point, 20 point. You don't know, but they will go up. So during that time, do some deep breathing. Just do this. Deep breathing will actually lower your blood pressure. Also massage the back of your ear over here. It will also lower your blood pressure. You just press it down, massage, bring it down here, bring it over here, massage your ear and bring it down here. That also can lower your blood pressure. So with that, you can stress management, meditation, deep breathing, massage the back of your head, the ear, and then bring it down to this area. You can lower your blood pressure, and then you can able to have better health. And that's important, because massaging your head, important for behind the ear, you feel very good, very relaxing. Plus, it does lower your blood pressure. Now, also, one of the things that you ought to realize, smoking will increase your blood pressure. So you gotta quit. Quit your smoking, your blood pressure will improve. It will lower your blood pressure. It will be good for your health. And on top of that, when you don't smoke, you eliminate all that major issue like lung cancer, all the other stuff that increase your blood sugar, all that will be eliminated. So think about that. I think you got to do that to get your better health and able to actually improve your, family, not to get secondary smoke, also better for them. Now, you need to have good, healthy diet. Now, you got to eat a lot of fruits, berry, fish, whole grain, lots of vegetable. As I mentioned, it's really nice if you get a whole plate, all green stuff on the left side, half a plate. You have all the nice vegetable, lettuce, pepper, whatever, all vegetable, and it's very delicious. And then you on the right hand side, 1/4 of them will be your lean protein, which is like fish, legume, chicken, not red meat. Okay, and then you use healthy oil to cook this a meal. Use olive oil, avocado, nuts. All those things are good for you instead of using, all the other real, animal fat to cook. Wow, that would be terrible. And you can eat brown rice, whole grain, or wheat bread, or red rice. Those are really good, high fiber. It help you to improve. If you're diabetic, definitely that will help you. So healthy food is so important to help you to lower your blood pressure. Now, I stress, you got to actually limit your sodium intake because excess sodium, as I mentioned, increase your high blood pressure. The reason is because they retain all your fluid. If you retain the fluid, your kidney will work harder. So net result of that, you will not able to get the water out. Your heart will pump harder. Your blood pressure will goes up. And sodium, you got to get rid of that. Now, Lowsutea can be very helpful to get rid of your sodium, but you yourself cannot put a lot of sodium. Like if you eat before your meal, before you even eat, you don't put a lot of salt on it already because you don't even know if it tastes good or not. You are habits of putting salt. Get rid of that because that will basically get you in trouble. The sodium is really get you to get high blood pressure. So if you cook, get rid of the sodium. Don't cook the sodium because basically food already have a lot of sodium that is in there on the salt, natural salt. So as little salt as possible is better. So you want to avoid all the spicy herb, all the food that has a lot of sodium. So you have to watch the label, especially when you put down a lot of soy sauce. Not good for you. Not to put a lot. Now, don't eat a lot of sugar because sugar get you to be obese and also not good for your diabetic. So all that will increase the risk of your kidney disease and also increase your blood pressure. Not good for you. So you want to eliminate all the sugar drink like bubble tea. Forget about bubble tea. Not to drink whole fruit juice. Eat the fruits. Eat the apple. It's better you drink the juice. And avoid any kind of sugary snack like, baked cookies, all the good stuff. All these are bad for you, okay? Now, drinking Lowsutea definitely help because it's a natural herbal tea. It has high antioxidant, lower your blood pressure. Bitter melon actually increase the insulin sensitivity, even though you have high, insulin. You have high insulin that doesn't work. Somehow, bitter melon actually increase the insulin sensitivity. It will take back the sugar into the cell, and the excess will dump the sugar. They dump the LDL cholesterol out and the salt out. When you dump the salt out, you know what? The blood pressure comes down, and that is so important. Now, guava leaf is great because it delays sugar get into the bloodstream. So net result, all that will help you to improve your blood pressure. So that will be important. So you really have to keep getting your regular exercise because exercise do lower your blood pressure, as I mentioned. 150 minutes, a week of exercise, and every day to, half an hour to an hour exercise. That's really important. And on top of that, you can also use a barbell to go up and down like this. And then you do 30 minutes of that. It will be easy to do. And then you can actually basically strengthen your muscles over here, your heart, and you can watch TV at the same time. You're a step master going up and down. You burn 300 calories in 30 minutes worth. Wow, that will be good. It also build your muscle mass, improve metabolism. All that will be good. Now, use this as exercise. You got to create a habit. You do it every day. You have to continuously do it, not only once a week, but you got to do it with your wife, your son, or your neighbors, or whoever. Continue, encourage you. Do all the walking. Go to a shopping mall. Go to the street. Walk around neighbor. You got to walk around so you can able to continue workout buddies to encourage you. It's a lifelong thing, every day you walk. Now, if you can do all that, most likely your health will be so much better. Now, but on the hand, you still need to go your regular checkup, because a lot of these things you have to get a doctor to measure not only your blood pressure, but also your blood sugar, cholesterol. All those things has to come from your doctor. And also they will look at your kidney, whether your creatinine is good, okay? Your creatinine is good, and so they will measure that to ensure that you continue to understand is your kidney is functioning well. So if you're functioning well, your blood pressure should be at a 120 and lower. For systolic, diastolic should be lower 80. Now, with you change your lifestyle, because you are now doing exercise every day, you track the food, you track your blood pressure, write it down in a sheet. Then that way you can always understand where you at in blood pressure. And on top of that, you also need adjustment with all the diet, exercise, daily exercise, weight control, all that will become along. So you can able to make sure you have a whole full program from lifestyle change, your diet change, your exercise, your weight change. I can assure you, with that, you will be very, very healthy, and your blood pressure will be maintained good. Now, maybe at the end of the day, you still need medication to control your blood pressure, because due to already your blood vessels are already very hardened, or whatever that reason, the doctor will decide that, and you need to take that. Now, Lowsutea can definitely help you lower your blood sugar and blood pressure. We lower your blood sugar, blood pressure, and your bad cholesterol. We definitely can do that. So you got to take Lowsutea and take it regularly. So in conclusion, kidney is a really filter to get rid of your waste from your blood, from the body, and get it out and through the urine, basically. So it really also maintain good blood pressure is really need your kidney. Without that, your kidney have all the hormone and all that. You really control your blood pressure and make sure your whole body in good condition. If you do not safeguard your kidney, you know what? Your blood pressure goes up. You have all kind of health complications. In order to do that, to protect, get it better, your kidney to be real good, you got to have good balanced diet. Like, for example, eat a lot of fruits, fish, green vegetable, and you can control your blood pressure and limit your salt intake, because your salt is not going to help you to improve your blood pressure. It's get worse to get you really get higher blood pressure, really retain all the body fluid, and that result, your blood pressure goes up. And your exercise is very important, because when you exercise, you basically improve your heart muscles, your kidney health, everything will be good. So with that, you're able to have regular blood pressure check and understand you are continuing maintaining your blood pressure with systolic blood pressure lower 120, diastolic lower 80. You will prevent all the health complications, and try to make sure that that will be your target. Continue, and you can measure every day yourself. Take a look when you wake up, also at nighttime, measure that and see if your blood pressure is continuing to be 120 over 80. And that's your target. If you go over 130, you need to start talking to the doctor and say, hey, doc, my blood pressure continue over 130, because you might need to start getting medication. Okay, now I go through a lot today. I know this is something that you might learning what is blood pressure, but that is really good to understand. Now you know you got to retain your blood pressure at 120/80. And on top of that, you have to have diet control, less salt, because salt retain water and get your blood pressure up. So don't think of just taking salt before you eat, not a lot of soy sauce before you eat. That is not good for you. Or dip the food in soy sauce, that is not good for you. You need to make sure that you are maintaining better blood pressure by less salt, better diet with more fruits, more natural ingredient with lots of vegetable, and then eat a lot more fish, and then red rice and brown rice, whatever that help you to maintain better health. And you got to exercise. So if you have any question, write to me, Andy@wafong.com, ANDY@WAHFONG.com, Andy@wafong.com. We will help you answer a question or WhatsApp us, 852-6792-8891. WhatsApp us is 852-6792-8891. So get that. If you have any question, talk to us. We'd love to answer the question. A lot of people actually write me a short message and ask me, whoa, what is problem? And, get some idea. So really, at the end of the day, if you can able to lower your three high, blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure, you'll be healthy. And kidney is one important organ you gotta have to maintain all this better three high. So this is my lecture today. Thank you very much for all your time spending with us. I thank you, Edwina. Continue to listen. And I appreciate all my friends from all over the world, from people from the United States, from Hawaii, from Canada, from Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand. Wow, I'm so happy you guys are catching up. But this is really wonderful, basic information for you to get yourself better health. And I'm looking forward to continue work with you. And next week, we'll have a different seminar, a webinar for you. And thank you again. You take good care of yourself. Have a nice weekend. And if you have any question, again, write to us. And we'll love to have you. And drink Lowsutea, because that